I feel like we could start with Kanye because that'll probably be our longest
Yeah.
topic.
Really?
Possibly because we have a lot of different areas to talk about. We could talk about the listening party that we attended. We could talk about the actual songs, and then we could talk about the Ozzy Osbourne and Donna Summer's complaints.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a super extensive topic, but we just kind of have different layers to it.
Go for it. Where do you want to start?
Well, first and foremost, who replied to my story? Oh, someone replied to my comment of me talking smack on Twitter about defending Kanye. Speaking of Kanye, but I mean, I guess we could start with the listening party because that was the first order event. We went to the listening party before the album dropped. So, if anybody who's listening, if you weren't aware, Kanye had a listening party for his album. He had one in Chicago, and then he announced that he was having one in New York. And I was like, perfect, right? Like, it's New York. Like, we gotta go. Like, that's crazy, right? He could have been anywhere else. I wonder why he picked New York. Maybe because New York Fashion Week and there's people in the area already.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I was wondering why else he would have picked New York. Cause New York is obviously one of the biggest cities in the world, right? But I just feel like lately he hasn't really been doing a lot of stuff here, right? Like even the Donda showings, like nothing was in New York. It was in Atlanta. He was just in Orlando with Travis. He did Chicago, his birthplace, of course. LA usually has a lot of stuff. LA had the Larry Hoover show. I feel like New York hasn't really gotten a lot from him in a while. Honestly, like realistically, has he really even been performing here since the Life of Pablo tour?
He hasn't really been performing anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like we haven't had any type of, I feel like, major events from him since then. So I was like happy to see New York, UBS Arena. So for anybody who's not familiar with New York, like I wasn't even familiar with the UBS Arena. It's in Long Island. It's like right on the cusp. It was basically Queens, but it was Long Island technically. So it was kind of far out. Like it wasn't a long drive for us, but usually Madison Square Garden is like the major hub, Barclays Center. If they come to Jersey, they go to the Prudential Center. But UBS Arena, I was like, where's that? Like that's where the Islanders play. I actually never knew. I actually never knew where they played. I don't know why I thought they played at Madison Square Garden, but that's the Rangers, right? But I thought they played there too. But yeah, it was a cute little arena. It was definitely like Prudential Center size, right? It's smaller. It's not a Madison Square Garden size. It's not a massive stadium.
It was cool.
But it was a good size. It was fun. A lot of people showed up. Tickets weren't crazy price. Could have been worse for the people that were there. Right, it's Kanye. But yeah, it was cool vibes. I had a good time. Like if anybody knows, New York crowds are usually historically known to be boring because everybody thinks they're too cool. But I think some people around us were having fun. Like the people behind us were kind of like chilling. But it was lit. It was fun. Cardi came, right?
Yeah.
Bump J was there. Rich the Kid was there, which I didn't realize. And it was cool because like the last time we saw Cardi was 2017. Last time we saw Travis was 2017. And last time we saw Kanye was 2016. And now we just saw all three of them in the span of the last 2 months. We went to Travis the store. And now we saw Kanye and Cardi again. So it's just kind of cool, full circle. Like we're seeing these artists who clearly have shown longevity in the game. So. And I would say it's our more favorite artists, the artists that we actually care about. It's cool to support them multiple times and see them multiple times. So I hope he has a concert or a tour for Vultures. We would definitely be going. But I know you said it's debatable because you feel like you basically went to a concert for it, which I could feel that.
Yeah.
But
and
I'd rather see I low-key rather see Kanye by himself. Like I'd rather see him doing a tour. I don't like this is a joint album. But I mean, Ty Dolla Sign's cool too. But I definitely do want to see Kanye and tour one more time.
My only thing with Kanye is that he's just
inconsistent.
He's not really. He does a lot of really good tour. He used to be a really good performer.
And we missed out when he was a good performer. We didn't get to go to the Yeezus tour or the Glow in the Dark tour, which I heard were like crazy, and we didn't get to see because we were young.
Yeah, high school but it's kind of tough to. I mean, it's not like money's an issue, but money's money. So paying money to like potentially have him not fully perform songs, like
you see people were disappointed for Life of Pablo. Lyrics. Like Amira and her ex were supposed to go to the Life of Pablo tour, like in Philly or something, and clearly the tour was canceled before.
Yeah, that was different though. I mean, more so just like even when the show that we actually ended up going to in terms of actually performing some of the songs, like it's not like he fully like is actually performing the songs.
Yeah, he kind of stands there and lets the crowd sing it.
Yeah, so. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's maybe his mental health or if it's just him getting older and just kind of getting more comfortable because like he's already secured his spot, He definitely has gotten very lax, and like like you said, it is your hard-earned money, and like, do you really want to pay that to watch him? Like, first of all, you can't even see his face; he's wearing a mask, and then he's just not really singing, not really rapping. I mean, it sounds like though when he went to Travis' show, it sounds like when he first got on the stage, he was rapping, and then he stopped, he put the mic down. I think he was really just trying to like grasp the moment. That was like really one of his first times really, really like performing in a while, and I think it was almost like he was like taking it all in because so much he has gotten so much hate recently, right? Like being canceled, and so I feel like that was a moment of him like, wow, like people still mess with me. And then he started rapping. Like, remember he picked up the mic, he actually was like rapping, and he actually was rapping some of his songs. Remember he was up on the little moving stage and he jumped off. Yeah. So it seemed like maybe he's getting inspired again, but I mean, Kanye is kind of very volatile, and like I worry that I mean, you'll get a refund, but but if he shows up
but even
and
that,
performs, mid, then we don't get a refund. We only get a refund if he doesn't show up at all.
And aside from that, like I know he didn't perform the songs at this listening event, but I almost feel like if we go to the actual tour, it will kind of be more of the same. I feel like.
Yeah, but with tours, you definitely get more music. I mean, if they performed every single song on this album, it would be this plus like maybe a few other stuff that they've done together, right? Like there's the other Ty, Dolla Sign, and Kanye music. So they probably perform that. People who don't just tour. Like when they tour their albums, their newer albums, they don't just tour those songs. Like you saw Travis, right? Like it was almost half and half, old and new. So it would be interesting to see like what the set list would be. I feel like this would be one of those things where I wouldn't necessarily jump out the window and buy the tickets when they drop. I will kind of wait to see what the set list is.
Yeah,
but then prices kind of go up though when you do that.
I don't think I'm going, but
we'll see. We'll see.
In terms of the show,
we kind of felt. I feel like we've been getting in our concert bag more lately. Like we've kind of fell away from it, and now we got like we're fully back in it.
In terms of the show specifically, for anybody that wants to see, I did record it on my own individual channel. You can go check it out there for the actual visuals. But it was cool. He came out late. He came out at like 10:40, and I think it was supposed to start at like 9. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely
an hour and a half.
Yeah, definitely a big delay. But obviously when you came out, the energy was great. And New York is a little tough because the crowds in New York are like very reserved, like you were saying before. So it's not quite like the Travis show that we had in Jersey. And I know it's not. It's like we're only divided by the river, but it does seem a little different.
And even the artists say that.
Yeah.
Like Travis said he loves Jersey energy.
Yeah.
Like he's like, he likes our energy.
Not to hate on New York, but like, being in a building, you can tell. New York is like, I think, more hype about sports than musical performances. But at the same time, I think it depends too, because like when we went to Terminal 5 with Travis and people are diving off of the third story balconies, it was a little different. But I think that's a different type of crowd. Like I think if you went to a Cardi show in New York, it probably would be different. But Kanye probably has older fans, so that has something to do with it too. But the show was good. Visually, obviously, is always going to be, trend setting. Yeah, maybe not even trend setting because people can't even really replicate it. But the visuals,
and like having the one, and you could see the Vultures logo like in the lights, like it was cool.
Yeah. To explain that a little bit further, they put a lot of smoke in the arena, so then when they were using projectors, they could project the images onto the smoke in the arena, so they didn't have any actual screens. So people, when they were filming people in the crowd, and they could see themselves like in a hologram, so it was cool. But in terms of the album, really couldn't be happier. I would say. I think, and again, keep in mind this is considered the
Volume 1.
Vultures 1 is what they're calling it.
It's a lot of stuff that I left off what we thought we were getting. Hopefully we get from Volume 2. And then Volume 3 apparently is a solo album.
So we'll see. But really like and enjoy the album. It, in typical Kanye fashion, when he drops his cohesive sort of albums, there's a lot of different styles of music all throughout the album. Of course, you're gonna get like the hard, like crazy trap 808 sort of like song that we got with Carnival, which is just absolutely ridiculous. That song is gonna be in my nightmares and my dreams.
That's definitely gonna be one of the songs from this album that's gonna be like on TikTok. Like you can tell that's gonna be one that's gonna be out of here, especially now that Kai just like reviewed it.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
And it's Cardi's on it, and this nigga's rapping like rapping. We haven't gotten Cardi bars like this really in a while.
Yeah, that song is getting abused. I probably listened to it at least like while you were gone.
Ooh, that's gonna hit in the gym.
Oh my god.
That's making me excited to go to the
When
gym.
I'm in the subway and going on my way to work, I might just start punching pedestrians
Yeah.
just because like that song is tough. He was actually
Sorry.
really rapping in the album too,
Yeah,
which was
that
great.
was that one song, Problematic.
Problematic
That's
is
like
super
those
hard.
Carnival and Problematic are my top two right now.
The songs that I like
Like
the most,
I love when he just raps.
the songs I like the most are "Do It,"
Yeah, do it too.
"Paperwork,"
Paperwork. I kind of like her rap a little bit.
"F Something." I like Hood Rat too.
It's growing on me. F something is good.
"Carnival," "Beg Forgiveness," and "Problematic" are mine.
Your
That
top three right
my
now.
top six. So those are the ones that I'm going back to consistently so
Yeah,
far.
what's the other Paperwork? I like Paperwork with that Rugrats beat.
Yeah.
But I was listening to it in the car when I was like driving to go get my food earlier.
I'm
And
gonna
I was
drop off.
like,
I'm gonna
I'm like,
drive
oh,
off
this
this
hit.
bridge.
I haven't heard a lot of stuff in the car yet until like I've been out. But
Yeah.
then I was finally getting to listen to it while I was out today, and I was like,
Yeah. So the
it
album's
go
really
crazy.
good,
Like it's like no bad songs. In my
and
opinion.
not even because I don't say I'm a fan of anybody, but I do enjoy. There's people's music that I enjoy the most. So he's one of them, and I think definitely gonna be up there for album of the year.
Yeah.
Conversations as always. But
And I feel like he's like improving a little bit, right? Like I feel like when he was the Ye era was a little iffy for me. Like I think it was good music back then, but you could
A little
tell it
experimental.
wasn't. Yeah, it was experimental. I think Ye wasn't really fully what it could have been because like songs like Violent Crimes like is really good. So it's like I just figured there was a lot of iffiness during that time, and then he went through his Jesus is King era, and then I mean Kids See Ghost was good, right too. But then I feel like he's definitely improving now because sometimes I do get worried. I feel like sometimes he's a little he definitely declining in some ways a little bit, right? It's like we can't ignore the fact that like his mental health definitely has been rocky, and I feel like it's reflected in some of his music. But then I feel like Donda, we've obviously got really good music. I wish Donda 2 was actually finished and done, and cause I feel like that could have been a really good album too, but it never actually officially dropped.
yeah,
And then I feel like now we got this and it's good. I feel like Ty Dolla $ign helped him really. Because like sometimes you need creatively like you need that help, and I feel like you need that structure. Like I feel like Kanye is kind of like off the rails, so it's throwaway album, but you don't want to disappoint so many other people. And I feel like he really was like Ty Dolla $ign kept pushing like, please let's just drop this album. Come on, like let's just get it out here.
and it came out exceeded my expectations. I'm not gonna lie. Like not that I because I really like Vultures a lot, the song, but it was kind of hard to tell what direction the album was gonna go in.
That song does not give any inclination onto the album at all. Like
Yeah.
it's different than every song on the album is pretty different.
It's really different. Yeah.
And Vultures grew on me too. I didn't really like it at first, but it's a good song.
No, I liked it a lot because that beat drop.
Yeah, the beat drop. Yeah. And I like Little Dirk's verse. Yeah, we did like it at verse because I actually recorded me listening to it for the first time. We was in New York.
Yeah, we was driving by MSG. Funny enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the album's really good. I enjoyed it. Hopefully everybody else is enjoying it too. Again, Carnival is a generational type beat, generational type song. It's like
it just like I just like dark music.
It makes
like,
you
I like
mad.
That.
Like
I just like it just makes you want. As I said, it's gonna be good in the gym. It's just gonna make you
mad
want.
because like why are people good at what they do? Like why do people make good music? It make me mad sometimes.
The beat is just like it just makes you want to like.
And what's crazy about that beat too is that out of all of the Kanye leaks or like work in progress songs that we've ever heard, that has to be the biggest glow up to a song that he's ever previewed ever. Usually I feel like when he previews a song or it leaks or something, it ends up becoming worse.
Yeah.
But that one, I couldn't have even foreseen what that sounded like how it ended up sounding. Because I didn't listen to the original version until like yesterday.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, the way that this came up is crazy because I didn't listen to like the first round of the songs because I didn't want to.
Me neither. Like that's why like all these listening parties, I've heard snippets here and there, but I didn't really listen to anything until the Chicago listening party.
Yeah.
I really wanted to wait until that final work was out. Like I didn't want to listen to leaks or listen to like earlier renditions. Like I wanted to wait until the whole thing was out.
But yeah, so good album. Yeah. Actually, I would argue it's a great album.
But we'll see how when it comes to awards and stuff though, because first of all he has to submit. Who cares about them awards? Yeah, who cares? But first of all he has to submit, right? Do you have to submit for Billboard like when they do number one?
Nah.
Oh, okay, so that's just gonna be the chart. It's just gonna chart.
Yeah. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure you don't because Billboard.
Yeah, I think it's just
they just track anything. Like you don't have to submit to them.
Yeah.
But for award shows, you have to submit.
But the thing is, first of all, he might be banned for submitting. But even if he did submit, they might not have him because everybody's just.
He don't need no awards.
I guess he doesn't need any awards, but it just sucks because like I feel like this is like good music and it's probably gonna be falling on a lot of deaf ears because everybody is so caught up in those comments, and I feel like I don't know, maybe I'll have to revisit what he said, but nothing he said to me was that crazy. Like maybe the one thing about the Hitler thing was only iffy comment. But other than that, like he was just pointing out stuff that so many other people have said. Like it's not anti-Semitic to say that your people are in control. Like if anything, that's a compliment to you and your people for coming together and running shit.
It's not just that, and the reason why I'm not gonna, like, you can't tell somebody how they should feel or how they should be offended by somebody else's comments.
Yeah.
Like if somebody from another race came and touched my hair and said, "Oh, you have nappy hair," that's gonna be taken differently, right? So I'm gonna feel offended by that.
Yeah.
So they can't be like, "Oh, well, it's describing your hair," like, you know.
I just feel like their group is so protected compared to every other group.
Which is true, but that doesn't.
People talk about us all the time, and nobody gets canceled.
But that doesn't invalidate
It doesn't.
the stuff that he was saying.
This is annoying.
So I understand, because the way I think about it is like, if somebody said the equivalent of that to a group that I belong to, how would I feel? So if somebody said,
I'd be like, yeah, we run shit.
If it's DEF CON to all blacks.
Yeah, that was wild, a little wild. But the thing is, people took that out of context because they didn't know what DEF CON meant. Like,
it's DEF CON, but
DEF CON, yeah, it's like a military thing. But it was people tried to make it seem like he was saying death to the Jews. That's not what he was saying. That's not what DEF CON means.
But even the actual version of DEF CON,
the actual definition of it,
it's kind of like that's a war term.
Yes, like, but you're preparing for war almost. It's not like he literally was saying. Like, I think he was basically saying like, I'm preparing to, because they're coming for me. They're gonna start coming.
Well, which DEF CON did he say? Do you know what number?
3.
Okay, well, let's get up
there.
there.
The final stage of like.
Nah, it's DEF CON 5.
Yeah, it's like preparing for, you're on the defense. I think it's almost like he was on the defense because he knew what was coming. Like he just has a very expressive way about saying things, and people just like, I get it, but people also love to just be mad. People love to be offended. People love to dig. So people want to be a victim, right? I feel like, I don't know what it is. Like everybody wants to be a victim. So Black people, we have our plights that are directly linked to slavery and everything. But then and Jewish people have their plight, right, with the Holocaust. But everybody just wants to be like, woe is me. What did he mean by DEF CON? Like, whoa, like everybody just wants to be a victim, and it's just like
they do, but come on, like don't do that. Because if somebody said the exact same thing about black people to black people, like imagine if literally anybody said that. Like, what if you're the most?
Right.
What's the equivalent of a Kanye to white people or Jewish people? Like if Taylor Swift said it's DEF CON to all black people, she'd
be out of here.
Well,
maybe she wouldn't because she's protected because she's white. That's what I mean too. Black people we don't get as many chances.
Yeah, but that you still can't invalidate.
I know, but I'm not invalidating it, but I just feel like it's just a shame. Like I kind of wish he just would have went about it better. Like I know what he was trying to do, and it sucks because it's almost like the same thing with the Monique interview that she just did on Club Shay Shay. It sucks because it's like you should be able to speak the truth. You should be able to speak out on things and not fear consequences. And I respect him that he's just doing him, but it sucks because at the same time it's like these things taint your legacy, and it's like I know what he was trying to say, but it just came out very just bad.
It's the same thing I said about Nicki and how nobody really received her diss track the way that she probably thought that they would.
Yeah, because
you only get what you've allowed yourself to receive. So like if you made your whole career a certain way and people perceive you, if you're going on stage and like if you're saying certain things, certain people don't care about black people, which was, you can have your own opinions on that, but the way other people might perceive that, or like, the way they view it, him ripping the mic from Taylor and all the different things and the way he set up his career and perception, you don't afford yourself that same grace when these kind of conversations come up.
Because he kind of already dug himself a hole. Like he already kind of showed who he was to people, how they perceive him being a bad person for so long.
And the Trump stuff, and it's just all this.
The slavery was a choice, even though that was like way far misinterpreted. Like, because every day he proves a statement, because you see how our people are sheep. So he proves that statement is proven to be true. But everybody wanted to be very offended by that too. But, I just feel like I get it though. Like at the end of the day, we are humans and we should all be able to say and do what we want. Like who cares about the rules? But it just sucks because they do come with consequences. But he's fine. Like look at how stadium was packed out. Like people could say what they want about him every day and they could keep coming for him. But the fans are still here. Like he's had his biggest streaming year ever last year. Like no, they're not stopping him. And I just don't want him to do anything that's too far gone where he can't come back from it. But I feel like he's fine right now. Donna Summers, Ozzy Osbourne, I don't care if they're legends. Like F their samples, like I know they, you know, they saying, oh, they want that power trip. Like, no, we denied him to use our sample. But F it, just, you know, do your own thing, Kanye. Like your fans are still gonna support you. Like let them lose out on money because this album's gonna go crazy. Like, so that's the point I am with him. Like I don't even really care that people don't really like him. Like I'm still gonna listen to the music. Like the streams don't lie, the sales are not gonna lie. So I just want him to not say nothing else going forward. Like don't say this.
Well, he did say that he's an anti-Semite again on the album.
Oh yeah, he did.
So
well, no, but he wasn't saying that he was. He was kind of just mocking what people say about him, like oh bipolar, anti-Semite. But I'm still the king. Like you know, it's almost like he was just mocking. But yeah, I mean, he did.
Yeah. Then they hit that button on the live stream in Chicago. The second he said that.
Nah, the funny part is though
that switch.
That song is dead. That's the last song on the album. So the show probably was done. Yeah. But it's just the timing was funny because like the way the stream cut off, I was like,
and that's the way that people were reporting it. I'm not
gonna say who, what race, what group of people turned off the show.
That button got hit and they got out of there. But yeah,
recreate that Kanye interview. I'm not gonna say who. It was the Jewish people. They did it. Oh, I'm gonna cancel it. Stop. You see, you can't even call them by their name without it being like anti-Semitic. So it was anti-Semitic that they own all these news channels.
Like stop.
It's a fact.
No, but stop.
No, I'm just saying that.
Because
right
I know
I'm
you're.
not talking about
I know you. No. I'm saying I know you're intelligent, but. And you're a fan of Kanye, but sometimes like think about what you're saying. It is anti-Semitic to say that you're gonna go DEFCON and declare war on people.
No, that stuff is wild. I'm just talking about the other stuff, but the more lighthearted stuff that people try to say is anti-Semitic, like that they own the news channels. Like no, that's a fact. Like wouldn't you be flexing on that? Like yeah, we own you guys. Yeah, we run this. Like that's a compliment that you guys were able to come together. Because my people can't get it together. I wish that we could, right? Because we rule the world. Because we run stuff culturally. Well, Black Americans, not all Black people, but you know, it's a compliment. All that other stuff, yeah, borderline anti-Semitic. But I'm talking about the specific, like with the news channels, CNN and all that other stuff, and the record labels. Even that show we just watching, Selling Sunset, the Oppenheim group. Is Oppenheim Jewish? Aren't they Jewish? But anyway. So, I mean, like I said, Ozzy Osbourne, Donna Summers, we don't need you guys. Like, miss out on the money. Like, who cares?
Those are two
well,
people
no, they're fine.
Definitely
yeah. No, they're more than fine. But it's like, whatever. Like, you guys want, like, I don't get why Donna Summers or whoever's running her page was adding Sharon Osbourne. Like, they were trying to, like, yeah, look, Sharon, he's trying to steal my music too. Like, it's just whack to me. I don't know. It's like this whole, like, we're trying to be like, everybody loves to act like they're so, like, holier than thou, but Ozzy Osbourne has some like very questionable history. So I'm like, you're the last person that we want to talk about morals. Then he tried to kill his wife. Like I heard he tried to kill Sharon.
All right, let's move on.
Let's look it up. Cause I heard that he did, and he apparently is like a Satanist. Like, but now this nigga all of a sudden anti-Semitism is his bar. Even though he just dressed up as Kanye 2-3 months ago for Halloween, but all of a sudden now he draws a line at anti-Semitism, but he's a Satanist who tried to kill his wife.
Well, let's turn on that good Black Sabbath.
Yeah, this is the guy that we're looking for morals.
This is that work right here.
And Carnival is fine without it, right? We don't need it. The new version that they did was fine, right? Like, so Kanye's funny to me. Like, people are like, oh, he's stealing music. You guys are supporting this? Somebody on Instagram said, are we protesting him, like, stealing people's music? And I replied back and I said, no. And I put the red heart. No, we're not. We're not protesting nothing. So, yeah. But all in all, I think I just don't want him to say nothing too, like, don't say nothing else. Like, still express your, still practice, or what is it called? Exercise your freedom of speech. But I just want him and Nicki, like me being a fan of both of them, like those literally being like the only two artists I really like actually are a fan of. I just want them to both just use a little bit more emotional intelligence, just be more like calculative, because they could run stuff like they already do. Their music, their fan bases are insane. So it's like if they were just a little bit more smarter, they would have so much of a bigger bag and so much more success. Like Nicki would definitely have her Grammys already. It's just last time, so like I get it. Like you shouldn't have to not speak and be able to express yourself, but just be smarter about how you do it. be more tactical. Right?
But it's not even being tactical. It's just common sense.
Yeah, it is common sense.
Like
you can still use freedom of speech and still be Kanye can still be who he is without the Taylor Swift event, without the everybody loves George Bush, doesn't care about a lot of people. We love that, but now you're doing too much when you go on a stage ripping out mics from young girls who went in their first war. Like some stuff he did was just very questionable.
Yeah, and you can't, whether people's actions are right or wrong and their positions of power. Again, common sense.
Yeah.
If you're shitting on somebody, why would they then give you opportunities?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying stay quiet, but you can't have everything be.
Yeah, you can't can't go too crazy.
No, I just you can't. It's not gonna be kumbaya. You can't shit on the labels and they're like, oh, Nikki, you know what? Never thought about it that way. Let me change everything.
Yeah.
Here, matter of fact, come to the Grammys. Let's give you 4 Grammys. It's not gonna work that way.
If you're gonna do all that, have your stuff set up already for you. Like with the shoe stuff, have that stuff set up. Like you needed the Adidas. Not anymore, but he did.
You're gonna have to make a choice. Either you're gonna play the artist game and get all these accolades that you can put in your house so you can feel better about yourself, or be the martyr and be the person that gets their whole life taken away from them because they point out issues. And I by no means am trying to compare under any circumstances the individuals I'm about to bring up, but look at what it cost Malcolm. Look at what it cost Dr. King. Look at what it cost millions of black people that have tried to stand up for what's right. Those were the martyrs. Mm-hmm. They weren't being tactical. They weren't trying to be accepted. And
you can't want both. So you can't want the Grammy and submitting for the Grammy still.
It can't work that way.
Like Kanye, you peed on the Grammy, but then you submitted for the Grammy and you won it.
And you won one. But it's just like that part doesn't make sense.
It's weird because like why you're submitting. Nikki, you're submitting Grammys, but you're talking like about the Grammys.
I get you want fair and equal treatment.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's just their anger and passion that
it's just
over.
the same thing I always disagreed with the Kaepernick trying to go back into the NFL thing.
Yeah,
it just didn't
that
make
was
sense.
So stupid.
Why would you
like
want to
you
go
do
back?
all that, yeah.
And that's why
Jay-Z is a little questionable, right? Like you supporting and you like standing 10 toes. Like how crazy does it look now as black people? We got all these black artists now performing at halftime shows because of Jay-Z, but what happened to the take a knee? Like, like it was just, it's a whole
other conversation.
Yeah.
But anyway, the album was great. Good job, Kanye. I'm happy about it. Yes. Definitely the best set of music we got from him, in my opinion, since like 2016.
I'm going to listen to it again tomorrow on my way to my mom's
fantastic.
apartment. Because she lives an hour and a half, so that's perfect time.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.